Hi, what's up guys? How you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, before I get into the deepness, the deep thickness of emotional discussion on this video, I wanted to give you guys a little small teeny, like kind of a, not a backstory, but kind of a reasoning, if you will, on why I really created this channel in the first place. Because there's plenty of photographers and filmmakers out there that go out, they either are hired to do jobs, which I'm not, I'm working towards, slowly getting my feet into the depths of the water, if you will, of doing the actual work, the paid work part of it. And a lot of photographers and filmmakers just go out there, they shoot stuff, film stuff, go out and travel and do all that kind of stuff, and then, edit it, upload it, and then they're done with it and move on. And that's all good, and that's also part of it too. But for me, I really wanted to make this channel as a form of a two-way street, if you will, of discussion and feedback and constructive criticism, and just hopefully more positive than anything else of what we all individually feel is a good thing or a good way of working in these two really cool, personalized creative mediums that we love and enjoy so much every single day. But before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and go into the intro. Alright, what's up guys, Sean Doering here. Now, a little bit of a quick story time. Now, today I was actually went to one of my local camera shops here, and I was pretty much starting to look into the idea of really getting the next lens for my kit. So right now, as some of you know, I use a Canon R6 Mark II, which is a phenomenal mirrorless full frame camera that I love. Been using it for a little bit over a month now. It's super red. I love it to death, honestly. And I just got the kit lens, so the 24 to 105mm 7.1 f7.1 on there, and it's great for most things. And it kind of so today I went to, like I said, I went to the camera shop and started to look at the next additional lens. And it's funny because I've been watching so many YouTube videos of other creators that I look up to, aspire to, not for their gear, but just for their work experience and what they present on YouTube or on Instagram, on all the platforms. And I watch what they buy, and most of it, thousands and thousands of dollars, which is, things I'm nowhere near anything right now of. And it just, it's just not only from experience, but I'm like, I just don't need it yet. But I got into a really fun discussion with the person at the camera store, just pretty much over, learning to use what we have more effectively, rather than always, wanting to get more and more and more. And not that it's not great and rad to be ambitious about what you can expand on to work with, not that alone, but kind of made me think and want to have a discussion with you guys about really, using what we own more and more, and kind of going that route. So I wanted to kind of like just go through that with you guys, or like my feelings on it, and then of course give me your feelings in the comments below too, because I know some of you guys have 10, 20, 30 years of photography, filmmaking experience, and I want to know what you think about it as well. But one thing, because before I did any of this, one thing that always kept me from really investing into a camera like this for the Canon R6 is that I was always like, well, this camera costs, upwards of, for the past few years, $2,400. That's a lot of money for, for my kids and for my family, that kind of thing like that. So it was already a big investment as it was, and I really had to get myself over the mental and emotional hurdle as it was to really be cool with myself of spending that much money on a camera that's really just for now a hobby, and as I work more and more with it, I want to get it to a level, of my experience with it, where I can get paid to use. That's the whole idea, obviously, but not there yet. So that's the whole thing. So one thing I got into a discussion with the dude was today, was that, I feel like it kind of breaks down to a few different things, and one of the bigger ones for me is that it all depends on really obviously what you're shooting, and that's a really obvious statement, but I think people overlook it a lot. What I mean by that is, like, I'd say probably 80% of the channels on YouTube, for the most part, that aren't shot like at home in a studio, which is a lot of them, honestly. A phone, a smartphone, an iPhone, Samsung, whatever you own, works just fine. They almost all have 4K video. They all have attachments that are available for better audio. You can hook it up through that, and right there, that's a studio. For most people, that's plenty, it's enough, and that's awesome, that's fine. And that's what I almost kind of just defaulted to for a long time. But because I have the tech brain, like a lot of you all do, I feel like, which is normal, it's like I wanted, it's like, okay, it's a good starting point to get the basics of how to take a photo, get rule of thirds, just how to frame stuff and that kind of thing, and then everything else can be done on a computer anyways. But for me, I think it was because again, my basis for all this creativity always comes back to photography, and that really is not on a smartphone. It can start there and be inspired there for sure, and that's really important to always be aware of. It can always start there as an inspiration. Like, hey, I love taking photos here, and then you want to get into a better piece of equipment, and that's the beginning of it for most people, and as it was for me. So that's kind of my thing. So right now, what I've got is the Canon R6 Mark II, the kit lens 24-105, and then I have my tripod, my microphone, my memory cards, my bags, and that's really all I need right now. And as I was looking and discussing the just the idea of what will the next lens be, which I'm also curious on what you guys think for feedback on that, because I'm looking into probably getting a Sigma lens, just because they are, from what I've seen on all over YouTube and research and that kind of thing, it's more of like it's the cheaper but still quality route of going with not spending as much money as you would on a Canon lens, for example. So I'm looking at probably, I think, like a 35mm Sigma lens right now is like the next lens up as an additional one, just to get some more bigger shots, I guess, like that. But I really want to get a lens that goes more wide angle, so for these videos especially. But it kind of just made me think about just learning what you own, because again, the majority of what this camera can do, I really I'm probably not going to use the most of it. I mean, I want to learn almost as much as I can with it, and upgrading to another camera is a whole different explanation by itself. That's not my point, though, is that basically it's really a smartphone is enough for a lot of people to even have it be a full-blown studio by itself, again with the attachments for the audio and all. It's plenty for most people. Now the other thing was to really, what I said before, is that it's really my thing is that I'm trying to work through now is to really learn what you have, but be ambitious about it. So meaning, like, it comes down to learning how to use time counters on the thing, learning how to adjust all the settings on your camera manually, starting to go into manual shooting mode. That's my next thing, is I've been shooting on auto for since I got this camera, since I opened the box up pretty much, and it's done a great job of that. But I really want to, as I've learned more about ISO and aperture and f-stop and all that kind of stuff, I've wanted to, and I have dive in deeper into all the smaller settings of just the camera itself and how to adjust them. And really what stopped me, or what's prevented me from using it live, meaning like on the streets and outdoors, has been pretty much the idea of where I am still learning, trying to figure out how to adjust everything quickly and to be efficient with it, and learn how to do it right on the spot and have it be a better in-camera shot than me trying to fix it later, or not fix it necessarily, but adjust for it later on in Lightroom, because I love Lightroom. I love editing. It's so fun to edit stuff. I love that. I do it for hours. But I really want to get into the mindset of having the camera be in the best setting possible for the setting I'm shooting in, and that takes time to learn. And I feel like even after all the videos that I've seen and watched to try and learn more, it still comes down to getting out there and just shooting and filming and just getting adjusting to pretty much just what your surroundings are, and adjusting to that to be the best possible thing. That's another huge aspect of it too. But let me know what you guys think about that also in the comments, and tell me how long did you guys shoot on auto, if you did, I should say, if you did start to shoot on auto. How long did you stay in that for, and then when did you kind of start to branch out into the manual settings, and how long did you think it really took you to adjust to that on the fly of the situation surrounding that you're in? I'm very curious about that too. Alright, and then another fun one I thought, or another interesting area, was that I bought like a daily backpack, as it's called, for any trips I go on. I also bought a smaller bag for when because I really try and bring my camera, my big camera, everywhere, but sometimes you just don't want to, in a sense, almost in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. Like sometimes I'm just going to a gas station, but it's funny because the reason why I bring this up is because on our recent trip that we went on with my family, we literally just went to a gas station to just get gas and get some other stuff there. And on the way back, it was really foggy out. And when we pulled into the Airbnb we were staying at, when I got out of the car, that all I had out was my phone. And it was literally just ironic to me how it was the one time I did not bring my camera with me at all, like my Canon camera. And it was so foggy out, and I ended up, and I took my phone out and took a photo of the forest behind me, and it's up on my it's on as a YouTube thing and all that kind of stuff, and on my Instagram. But it was just funny because I was like, the one time I don't bring my Canon camera, and then this opportunity presents itself. So it just made me kind of think of like just really always being prepared and always having everything with you at all times. And I think that's very, very understated to a lot of photographers too, because I feel like a lot of us, unless we're going out on a job, going to know what we're shooting or planning ahead on the shoot and what we need, it's like we may not think that there's anything that's photo worthy. And that little getting gas trip really taught me just like that, to always be prepared. You know what I mean? Which is it's just a funny thing that happened, where I came back and bam, one of the coolest photos spots I've ever really like seen for the environment that it was in. So I thought that was a really interesting learning experience for it too. And then another one I want to bring up too, and then in one of my last video for learning by doing, and I kind of want to reiterate that again in this video because I think it's so important. But I think that going and pushing yourself, because again, I'm a very introverted person just by nature. I just am, which means that like even for my first, because I went downtown for my first street photography video, which I did the point of view for, which I put on the channel as well. But doing that, just going by myself downtown with my nice camera, made me very, very anxious and nervous, just because I had never done it before. I was very nervous about doing it in the first place. It was one of those things where I was like, is this even gonna be worth it to do it? And that's one thing I love about photography and filmmaking already, is that it's really forced me to get out there and to really go and just try things, and hopefully it works out, kind of a thing. And then that's a really exciting thing, because otherwise I would just be sitting at home and just kind of whatever, and just kind of not learning. And I hate that feeling of not learning. That's one thing that I want to reiterate a lot too in this video, is that I love this art form because it really makes you think further and further and further out of what other opportunities you can give yourself if you just keep on pushing it. So for example, like just doing that one trip so far has made me now want to go to other cities and travel more and go international, and which I've been international before, but not for just photography. And it's weirdly kind of saving me money in a way too, because before I did all the photography stuff, I really went to mostly the concerts, not for photography, just to enjoy them, and I put a lot of money in those over the years. And now I kind of just my interests, it's a weird thing, my interests have slowly actually changed and adapted to this art form in a way where I had a few concerts I was gonna go to in the spring, and now I'm like, I'd rather just go to other cities like Chicago and and maybe somewhere else on the coast, and just do a weekend and just shoot for 4 or 5 hours, 2 days in a row, and not have to use any work PTO or anything like that, and just do that and come. And I think that would be a much more fun experience than going to a concert. And it's all how you view it, for experience and all that kind of stuff. But it's just been a very interesting change of priorities too, since I've started this whole thing about how I want to go to do different stuff, because it's a very new, challenging, exciting thing. So I thought that was a really interesting one as well. Alright guys, so I just wanted to get all that out of my head really and on here, because I think again I started this channel for, again, just to have a two-way street discussion with you guys on what you think about things, and if you thought about these things before, how you feel about them, and what you've gone through personally, and to give your feedback to me as well. I love that. That's why I did start this channel in the beginning, not just to have just street photography videos for 10 hours a day. I want to know how you feel about everything, what you've done personally or not done, or what you wish you would have done, and the idea again is I want to inspire you guys if you're struggling in that area to go out and get more stuff shot, or vice versa, just to help me out too. But hopefully you enjoyed this video as well. I appreciate it, and then leave me any comments about everything that you feel as well again. And then Also, I'm stoked. My first preset package is coming super soon. I've been pretty much trying to decide if I want to just leave it as it is, because I kind of want to do like a seasonal preset pack, that kind of thing, and just release it seasonally, like a winter version, that kind of thing, for all winter stuff, since it's winter right now. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you're new here and you like what you see, subscribe please, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.